Hey y'all, I'm out here today and I'm going to be cleaning my chicken coop. I've already done 2 videos on how I clean my chicken coop, so I don't really think I need to do another one of those. So I thought we could talk chickens and some issues going on right now while I clean the chicken coop. I don't need to see the big runny mess that is the chicken coop. It's kind of gross, but I've still got plenty to say about chickens, so let me show you what I got going on here in the chicken coop first. Here you go. It's all nice and nasty. I'm sure I have some eggs I need to get out of here. Yep. Got 7 eggs I need to get out of here. Relocate. Set them over here till I go inside. One more. So anyway, I currently have 7 chickens. I've got 4 leghorns and 2 cucumberans. The leghorns are white and the cucumberans are the black and white ones that look a lot like a barred rock. The leghorns lay white eggs and the Morans lay a chocolatey brown egg. That's what the Morans are known for, are their chocolate eggs. Wish they really were chocolate, but they're not. So anyway, during the day, all my chickens free range. They just run around my yard. And that's not usually a problem because they go up at night, so they're safe from predators. I don't have to put them away. Chickens go into their coop at night all by themselves. They tuck themselves in, and all I have to do is lock the doors. And the predators that are usually after them, such as raccoons, coyotes, they don't usually come out until night either, so it's not usually a problem during the day. Occasionally you'll have dogs that'll come after them, but that's not normally an issue. But anyway, now we have an avian influenza going around the commercial growers in America, and it's wiping out whole flocks. If you don't follow some of the farm channels or the farm news, you probably haven't heard about that. But it's a real threat to even our home flocks right now. So we're trying to decide if we want to quarantine our birds to their coop because it's spread by wild birds. So I have stopped putting out wild bird feed for now because I don't want to attract them to our house and possibly risk losing our entire flock of chickens. So I need to get their coop cleaned out because if we're going to keep them quarantined in here, disease is a problem. The risk of disease is more of a problem than it is when they're free ranging. Tommy and I are going to discuss it tonight when he gets home and make a final decision on whether it's worth the risk to just let them keep free ranging or not. Because you can't keep wild birds out of your yard. Even if I don't fill up the bird feeders or the leave water out for the birds, they're going to come. I live on the lake. They got water right across the street. And it's a little late now to decide we don't want to attract wild birds when we've been doing nothing but attracting wild birds. I I haven't heard of any outbreaks in Texas yet, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. So we might as well beat it to the punch, so to speak. What this means to you guys who don't own chickens is there's going to probably be a shortage in your area, whether it's eggs or chicken meat or both. Even McMurray Hatchery, where a lot of us get our baby chickens from, it was announced this morning that they were hit. And they are going to have to cull some of their flocks. It's inevitable. So anyway, I'm getting the coop ready. I have to do this regardless every 3 months to keep the bugs and the disease down. I have never had a disease problem in my coops, and I don't want to now. I've lost chickens to predators because of my own stupidity. Like I didn't lock them up at night. And the predators got them. Other than the diseases that you have to deal with, you have to deal with the smell. And I'm in a semi-urban area outside of Houston, and my neighbors don't want to smell chicken feces. So, which chickens are best? I've raised a lot of different types of chickens. In my experience, the Leghorns are the best layers. They lay almost 365 days a year. With my chickens this year, the Morans stopped laying for about 3 months in the fall and winter. Leghorns didn't miss a beat. I've had Americanas, Barred Rock, Rhode Island Reds. I've had them all. The top hatters, the silkies, you know. I've had all the different kinds because I wanted to have rainbow layers. I wanted to have all the different cute little chickens. But in the end, when you get past the cuteness and the novelty aspect, you want what lays best and what you get the most value for your money. And for me, that's been Leghorns. However, when people contact you about buying your eggs, they almost always want the brown eggs. Again, we're back to that whole novelty thing. It just seems more farm fresh to people if they have the brown eggs. So for my organic free range chickens, I can sell them for $5 to $6 a dozen. If you look at the store, organic free range is at least $7 a dozen. Mine are going to be fresher than anything you would get at a store. There's a reason they call it farm fresh. I don't know how they clean them for commercial eggs, but the way we clean ours is we get a bowl, we put a bunch of eggs in it, And we put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there, and then we just wash them with a little scrubber that we have. Unless the customer doesn't want their eggs washed, in which case we don't wash them. I have raised rabbits, mini lop rabbits, Barbados St. Croix sheep, pygmy goats. What else? I feel like I'm leaving something out. Goats, sheep, rabbits, chickens. And of all of those animals, chickens are by far the easiest. If you run out of feed for a few days, chickens are gonna be okay. All you need for chickens is some water and some clean, fresh air, some grass, and they stay healthy. There we go. I got all the hay out of there. All empty. Now I'm gonna hose it out real good. Get these corners cleaned out. Now, in the past, I have had chickens that were more like pets than livestock. They would jump up in your lap and just sit there. Hi, I'm a dog, or I'm a cat. But none of my current chickens are like that. I guess because I didn't really sit with them and pet them and play with them like I did some in the past when I was a stay-at-home mom and had a little more time at home. We don't eat our chickens. Doesn't mean we wouldn't if we needed to, but we just keep them for our eggs, for their eggs. Because we live in a more urban area, we don't have an HOA here, we have a POA. And one week they'll vote to allow chickens, and the next week they'll vote to not have chickens. This week I have chickens, and I'm going to keep chickens. A lot of your towns and municipalities are allowing chickens now, as long as you don't have noisy roosters, although I will be the first person to argue that hens can be noisy too. Listen to one after they've laid an egg. Now, a lot of people have used the deep litter method and will just pile litter on top of litter, and we can't really do that here. We've got ants and roaches, mice, snakes. I'm just not even going to deal with that and have a big ant pile in my chicken coop. No, thank you. So, for feed, oh my God, that scared me. For feed and hay, it's about $50 a month for my chicken. I get about 6 or 7 eggs a day, and then sell them for the $5 a dozen. So it doesn't cost me anything to raise chickens, because I more than make that money back in selling the eggs. My coop is only built big enough to hold about 10 chickens in a healthy way. And like I said, we only have 7, so I might get a couple more, about 3 more. Most of my chickens, I have found, they lay for a good 4 to 5 years. Sorry, my leg was itching. They lay for a good 4 to 5 years, so these chickens are, I want to say 2 years old. I'll have to check my records and see how old they are. And I'm going to have to replace them, because I'm going to have to replace them within the next year. Probably by next spring I'll have to start bringing in some new chickens. It takes about 6 months from the time they're born until most breeds start laying. And you can't really safely put them in with the older chickens because they'll peck them to death. I keep them inside, the babies, where they'll stay warm and safe until they're big enough to put out here in the coop, and then I keep them partitioned away from the older chickens. I don't know why they're so unfriendly. I've tried to trick them before into thinking that it's their baby's hats, and they would still peck them to death. We don't have a rooster anymore. The last rooster we had attacked our granddaughter, and I said, that's enough, I'm done. Ain't nobody got time for that nonsense. He attacked her for no reason. She was just near him, and he attacked her. And I'm not going to spend time retraining him. We rehomed him. Now, my chickens eat snakes and grass and bugs, mice. They get in my compost bin and eat what they can find in there. And then they eat the feed that we throw out for them. They spend pretty much 100% of their day just walking around pecking the ground looking for worms and bugs. The worst part of keeping chickens is this part right here. Cleaning out the coop. Which, like I said, I do quarterly. Otherwise, they're pretty simple to raise. If there is an actual shortage at the grocery store of food, we at least have eggs that we can eat. And like I showed in one of my videos, I water glass some because we get a bunch. And even if I give my neighbors some, I'll just give them to them for free sometimes if we have too many. But I do water glass some a couple times a month so that we always have eggs, whether it's because of environmental conditions because they've stopped laying, or whatever, you know, shortages at the grocery store. I'm always gonna have eggs if I need to bake or whatever. Part of homesteading is always being prepared for whatever comes along. Living here on the Gulf Coast, we're at about 125 feet above sea level, and we do have hurricanes, and we do have flooding. Much to a lot of our surprise, we lost power for a week during a freeze here in Texas last year. You never know what you're going to lose power for here. So you can't freeze everything. You can't put everything. People are like, I have a freezer. I'll just put things in the freezer. Good luck with that. I've been without power for a month before. Was it the Boy Scouts always be prepared? Or is that the Girl Scouts? I don't know. I was a Boy Scout leader and a Girl Scout leader. It was Boy Scouts always be prepared. I mean, this weekend Tommy was under the house fixing a septic line that was broken. I felt so bad for him because he was crawling around in sewage, and now here I am in chicken sewage. What is it they say about paybacks? Tommy doesn't clean the chicken coop, I do. This is my job. Alright, well, I've got it mostly cleaned out. I'm going to spray it down with some vinegar. Actually, this time I'm going to spray it with some bleach. I'm going to get it sprayed down with some bleach, let it sit a while, hose it down again, and then I'll be done after I put some hay back in here. And my chickens will either be quarantined or not. We'll decide that tonight. But thank you guys for hanging out with me while I clean the nasty chicken coop. If you haven't already, please subscribe and help Tommy and I get to 1,000 subscribers. If you guys have any questions about chickens, let me know, and in one of my next videos I'll try to answer some of those questions, or I'll answer them in the comment section below. Thank you, and you guys have a good night.